Chelsea losing this final against Manchester City is not what is even painful. Anything can happen. It's a final, right? But what is even more painful is this is the only game that could have saved Chelsea's season. This was that one-off game that could have turned the tide around and to say, oh yes, it was a poor season, but at least Chelsea got back into Europe. As it stands, Chelsea has no pathway back into European football for next season. No Conference League, no Europa League, no Champions League. Now, sum this season yourself. As a Chelsea fan or whoever, which team you are watching this video, how would you sum Chelsea's season so far? Just one word. To me, I would say it has been a disaster. Disastrous season for Chelsea this season. It was a disastrous season. See, I'm not upset that Manchester City won. I'm not upset that, Chelsea lost. It happens. It's an FA Cup final. Chelsea has been losing FA Cup final for the longest. But this was that one-off game that you could have at least get back into European football, attract better players, in the summer. At least, even if you're not in the Champions League, you could have played, Europa League. You could have still attract some players. It was a very big disaster tonight that Chelsea actually lost this game to Manchester City. And what is even more painful is Chelsea did not play badly. Chelsea was not the worst team today. Chelsea restricted Manchester City to some bits and pieces of chances. Chelsea even got so many chances in this game as well, because I never thought that with the way Chelsea set up and coming into this game, they would have even gotten few chances to have even gotten anything out of the rather than to even create any chance at all. But to my greatest surprise, they still had to even create chances for themselves. So to me, Chelsea did not play 100% poorly today. Yes, playing against Manchester City, you cannot match them man for man when you're playing in a final against Manchester City. Remember, Tuchel did it in 2021, and Chelsea had to escape with 1-0, and the defense was super good, and Chelsea won that game and won the Champions League. So that was the same mentality Chelsea brought into this game. Defend, be very compact, restrict Manchester City to bits and pieces of chances and catch them on a break. Now, Chelsea did exactly that, create some chances for themselves, but could not be able to convert those chances. And that really hurt Chelsea, because one chance for City, and that was a spectacular goal, by the way, from Samayo. Samayo today was brilliant. Samayo today did very, very well. That's one flick from Samayo that gave Manchester City the goal, sum up the game for me. Tonight, it was a very, very sad one for Chelsea, and with the way Chelsea, actually bow out of this season in a disastrous manner. Not playing Champions League football is bad. You will lose your players. You will not be attracted to experience and good players on the market. You will not be attracted to the best of the best players on the market. Those are one of the consequences. You will not be getting much revenue as you should get when playing European football. That is also one of the issues, going into next season. So tonight, it's not that night that Chelsea fans actually feel happy. It was a night that is a very, very poor, and it was a night of reflection. That was why there was a protest coming into this game. That was why the Chelsea fans actually showed how happy they were coming into this game before the sound of the whistle. But a bit of Chelsea now. Let's give Pep Guardiola his flowers. 10 years as a Manchester City coach, 20 trophies. Last season he went unbeaten. Last season he went trophyless, but this season he has done it. 20 trophies in 10 years is remarkable for Pep Guardiola, and he's one of the best managers out there. If you talk about formation for formation, style of play for style of play, Callum McFarlane cannot actually match Pep Guardiola, right? But we should give him his flowers. He has done well, and this was an example of how good Pep has been this season. He just finds a way. He just finds a way to get that result. He just finds a way, to get the trophy. He just finds a way to win. Without a lot of people did not rate Manchester City during the first part of this season, they've gotten 2 trophies already this season. and that's the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. So you have to give them their flowers. You have to give Pep his flowers. He has done well this season. He has really, really done well, and they still have fights. They still have a huge fight against Arsenal or against Arsenal to win the title. They're going to play. They're going to play Bournemouth, and one other team also to fight their way to at least pick up something this season if they can make it a domestic treble. But that is remains to be seen because Arsenal still has the advantage. But in this particular game, some players impressed. And we have to talk about a player like Cucurella. Hato was brilliant in this game today. A player like Caicedo, yes, at some point he wasn't really up to par, but to me, I think he did well in this game. João Pedro also did well in this game. Reece James was very, very good in this game. I have to give credit to my best player of the game, and that is Colwill. Colwill was a rock in the defense. His line splitting passes was very, very good. Today, Colwill was very, very good today. The worst player on the pitch, in my own opinion, is Malo Gusto. Look at towards the end of that game, there was a huge opportunity to launch the ball inside the attack or inside the box of Manchester City, and he still failed and he still lost possession in your own half. So it was just a very, very disastrous game, and Chelsea needs to have a look at themselves and a sober reflection of how bad and how poorly this season has been. It's not the best. It's really, really not the best. And when João Pedro went off the pitch, I know there was a problem because you cannot, when João Pedro went off the pitch, and I'm seeing the likes of Delap, there were, at some point both of them were on the pitch. If there is no João Pedro in attack, there's absolutely nothing you are expecting from Delap. Delap has not convinced me the whole season, and that is why you need to sell some of these players in the summer. It's not a big deal. It's not a taboo. It's not an abomination that a player spends one season at the club. And a player like Delap needs to go elsewhere. He needs to be sold outrightly, not even loaned. He needs to be sold. A player like Garnacho needs to be sold. Chelsea has had the suffering of this season came from the signings of last season. Came from the decision makers of last season. And it has shown this season. Where one player is the only player that carries the team the whole season, and that's João Pedro. Apart from him, nothing. If he's locked down, nothing at all from Chelsea. Absolutely nothing. And it's very, very sad and very, very poor to see Chelsea suffer in this manner. A team that won the Club World Cup, a team that won the Conference League, and at the end of the day, the next season could not be able to qualify back into Europe because of poor decision making, poor ownership, poor sporting director, and poor summer signings. I'll keep saying it, that apart from the poor signings in the summer, Maresca sacking was a huge mistake for Chelsea. I will keep on saying it. Maresca sacking was a very, very huge mistake for Chelsea. And this is the reward. This is the reward of it. Look at Manchester City. Who got the goal today? Samayo. When was this signed? In January. Look at Czechia, that has been one of the best players in the league this season. When was this signed? In the summer. Magay, that has done well and saved Manchester City season. When was it signed? January transfer window. So once you don't get your signings right, it affects the whole season. And that is where Chelsea are suffering right now. It has affected Chelsea's season. Wrong signings, not being able to, add to that signing in January. Also, the poor decision making, sacking of Maresca and playing of Lime Resino, sacking him also. Those collective bad decisions the whole season has cost Chelsea this season. You cannot expect Mark Fallen to save the season for Chelsea. A coach who does not have a UEFA license. So it has already been a disastrous season for a long time. Chelsea was just trying to see if they could just get something out of this Manchester City game and save their season. But at the end of the day, it is Manchester City's own, and Chelsea will not play any European football for next season. And that is a disaster in terms of attracting players, in terms of revenue, and in terms, of making sure the team actually has a pathway and a direction in this project. Congratulations to Manchester City, who are now the champion of the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup of this season. And it's a very good farewell to Bernardo Silva and 20 trophies for Pep Guardiola is a milestone. But let me know what you think concerning this game. Share your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about Chelsea's season? What do you think about Chelsea loss against Manchester City tonight and everything that has played out this season? Share your own thoughts in the comment. If you're new to this channel, hit the like button. Please subscribe. Hit the notification bell until I come your way again next time. I remain your boy, Mike. Stay cool. Cheers.